You know, Will Smith says, you just have to choose. You literally just have to choose. You have to make the decision and choose that that's what you want to do, and then go start taking the steps necessary to make that happen. So if you are a young high school kid and your dream is to play in the NFL, you know, if you don't choose right now to take the necessary steps, it's going to be much more difficult than the kid who's decided, he's chosen, you know, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure I play in the NFL. If I have to hire, you know, or maybe it's the father of the child who's going to work with his son who wants to play in the NFL, and they're going to choose together to hire the best coaches, private coaches, whatever it is. I mean, you know, right now, young athletics is so competitive. All these children, something I'm starting to learn with my son being 4, talking to friends who have older children, is, I mean, if you want your child to be competitive, it's inevitable that you're going to hire private coaching for your kid. I've got a friend who has, his son plays hockey, baseball, and football. So he's got a pitching coach, he's got a quarterback coach, he's got his high school coach for baseball, he's got his high school coach for football, he's got a coach for hockey, and then he has an athletic strength coach who helps him get strong, and then he has a cardio coach. And now this kid's excelling, of course. He's very athletic to begin with, but he's got that, you know, he's made the decision that he wants to go on for sure and play collegiate ball, whether it's football or baseball. And so together with his dad, they have chosen to do whatever it takes to be able to make that possible. And, you know, right now he's already being scouted and looked at, and I think he's only a junior. And so we have the ability to choose. Sometimes there's sacrifices that we need to make. But going back to my friend again, he was so relieved to realize, holy crap, I do have a choice. I just have to now talk to my wife and see if downsizing is something that we really want to do together, or do we just stick with our 9-to-5s forever and ever. So what we started to kick around then was, you know, what is your dream job? What's your dream, you know, like you obviously hate your job right now, but you stay there because of the financial benefits it gives you. What is your dream job that you would want to do? Because if you can find a place that's hiring in that dream job, or if you can start a company in that particular industry and make as much money as you're making now, would you do it? And he's like, absolutely, of course I would. If I could, you know, work in this particular industry, which would be my dream, then it would be to then I would absolutely choose to quit where I am now and move forward. So the first thing we were obviously kicking around is, okay, what is your dream job? And what, you know, there's a lot of people out there. So I belong to real estate investing associations. I belong to 2 of them, the Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Association and the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association. And I happen to be the vice president of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association, and we get a lot of new people coming to our events to learn how to start investing in real estate. And some of them have come to our events for years, to be honest, over a year, you know, plural, 1-2 years. And they have never taken any action. They still haven't purchased their first rental property, or they haven't done their first flip, or they just haven't done anything. Now, they'll show up every month to these events, and I don't know if they, you know, have outside education. For all I know, they're taking real estate courses on the side, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just coming to our events once a month. We hold a nightly meeting and a luncheon, so they could hypothetically come twice a month. Actually, on Thursday, a couple days ago, Josh Romney, Mitt Romney's son, was our guest speaker on the housing market of 2020 for the U.S. and then specifically to Utah. Very, very interesting to hear what Josh felt. Obviously, you can't predict the future, but super educated guy, knows what he's talking about, has tons of investments in real estate, constantly tracks the market, probably with his dad. And it was really interesting to hear where he predicted 2020 was going to be nationwide, and then more specifically to Utah. Anyways, these are the type of speakers that we'll have come in educating once a month, and we'll have people that come in for months and months and then don't take any action, and we'll ask them, what's stopping you? And then we have people that will come and, 6 months into these events, they buy their first rental property, right? So you have these people that are like ready to take action, and you have these people that are just hesitating. And so what's stopping those people from taking action, and oftentimes it's fear, the loss of money, making a bad investment. Nobody wants to lose money. That's no fun for anybody. So they're valid fears, yet when you ask these individuals, okay, so how long have you been, educating yourself on this particular topic of real estate investing? And some of them say, well, I've been doing it for a few years now. And we start to dissect it. So are you less afraid today than the first day you started? And they're like, yeah, a little less afraid. I feel like I know more. I feel like I'm not going to make, some of the mistakes I may have made if I would have just dove in feet first. And then you ask, okay, how much more education do you feel you need before you're ready to take action? Because we want to help these individuals. This is a real estate investing association. So as a board member, we want to help these people, we basically be successful in real estate. That's the point of our association, is to network with others and grow together and basically help one another become successful. And for some of them, the answer is, I don't know when I'm going to feel comfortable. Or I feel like I kind of need to know everything before I take my, that first dive. And the reality is, you're never going to know everything, right? I don't know everything. My mentors who've taught me don't know everything. We're constantly learning over and over. But here's the beautiful thing in real estate. You don't need to know everything to be successful, right? It helps to know a lot, but you don't need to know everything to be successful. Our president, Mr. Donald Trump, is an amazing real estate investor. I mean, if you have read any of his real estate books, back before he was president, on these books, I mean, the guy is a real estate genius. Yet, he still wakes up every morning at 5 in the morning and reads to get more educated on real estate, because he realizes he doesn't know everything, right? So for these individuals, sometimes it's just very difficult for them to take action, and they need kind of, I don't want to say a push, because that's kind of a negative word, but they need a little I don't know if motivations are support. They need sometimes just a little extra support to finally take their first action. Some people need their hands held, others don't. I'm the type of personality that if someone tells me the water is deep enough, I typically just jump in. I don't have to see if it's cold or hot. I have friends that want to know how deep, how warm, how cold, what's the temperature? Should I leave my shoes on to jump in, or should I take them off? Or is my swimsuit, they want to know all the details. If I know some of the details, usually I'm content moving forward. Have I gotten bitten? Sure. I've paid the consequences in times before for not being as prepared as maybe somebody else who was, but it never killed me. It never was, I was never doing anything too dangerous either. But basically, we want to figure out, what is it that is holding us back?